Alrighty. Good morning. Do you want to have a successful procedures for finals? Hi, this is Yama from Yama Spanish Language Solutions, and this is Yama Cool-Ture. And these are my successful procedures for finals. First, classroom design. The desks should be in different designs and not in rows, okay? Yeah, like everybody, puts their classes in rows for a final. It's like, oh my goodness. Be creative, okay? An example, make the design of the classroom into a big spiral or into a big X. I'll give you an example. This right here is my classroom design. So there's, for example, this year I used a spiral. You can see how it starts on the left, on where that desk is. If you just look at the outside desks, how they're going around. Then you come over here, and then these desks, I'm going to pick it over here. This desk comes here and now turns this way, and now you're using the spiral all the way to here. Okay? It makes a difference. It makes it a little bit different, mainly because, I'm going to explain in a second. All right, there we go. Yep. So why do this? First of all, it breaks the monotony. Breaks the monotony of all the other tests. The kids coming in, and like they're rows. The majority of them are rows, and they're like, oh my goodness, this is boring. Second, the wow factor for students. When they come in, they're like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. Or what's going on here? Okay. And usually I ask them, hey guys, what do you think the design of the classroom is? And you give them some time, and they're like, oh, I don't know what it is. A circle, and then some might get it, and some might not. I learned this strategy my first year teaching. I learned this from Coach Rosales, which really has helped, and I've used it ever since. And in Crosby High School, the principal Frank actually praised this strategy, or my strategy, publicly in front of the whole faculty, and I felt really like, whoa, this is awesome. I feel really proud that I did it, and it's actually pretty cool. Here we go. Actually, let me go one back. Yeah, it really cuts down. Actually, one of the things that I want to mention, it cuts down on the copying. Okay, it really cuts down on the copying, because people they're looking at each other and they're like, okay, well, this is really close, and you're just keeping an eye on them, making sure they're not copying, but they understand that they're not going to copy in your classroom. Okay. All right, let's move this back a little bit. There we go. Anyway, let's go to number 2. Review the test. Okay? Before handing out the test, one of the strategies that I learned is reviewing the test itself. Okay? Reviewing all parts of the test. Going over, showing them what the test looks like, talking about each part. Part 1 is going to be listening. Part 2, you're going to have a pie chart, just so they get to know what the test looks like. Okay? And also review some of the questions. Heck, if you can, review most of the tests. Obviously, you're not going to tell, oh, number 1 is this, number 2 is this. No. You're going to be reviewing just like, okay, what does jacket mean in Spanish, all right? Or what does black mean in Spanish? Or, okay, what does less short mean in Spanish? Some words like that. I mean, it's up to you. You be creative. You can use the whole thing. I've reviewed the whole test before. It really helps them. The reason why we're reviewing the test before taking the test is to remember that the goal for for us, is for the students to be successful taking this final. Okay? So it's any review helps. Any review helps. It should not take more than 25 minutes to do. Should not take more than 25 minutes to do. In fact, on your phone, put an alarm, and when the alarm goes off, whatever you ended up, boom, that's it. You start handing out the test, or you start doing the next part of the procedure. Another thing that really helps about going over the test is it cuts on the idle time at the end of the period. Okay? Why? Because a lot of teachers, a lot of colleagues, what we do is we'll give them the test right off the bat. The bell rings and boom, here's the test. Well, guess what? We have 2 hours, but there's some kids, and the majority of the tests are not made for the 2 hours. It will be for an hour. And then you have, guess what? You have a whole hour where the kids are just not doing anything. They're idle hands, and they become disrupted. In fact, that's the next thing. It helps control conduct. Going over the test, that's 25 minutes right there. And then they actually take the test, which is going to be another, let's say, an hour. Usually, when I do the reviewing, the students usually have at least 20 minutes left before the testing period ends of idle time, instead of having 1 hour of idle time. Why? Because we reviewed, and they're testing, and then it just really cuts down on all that extra noise and all that stuff that the students are doing, especially since it's the end of the year. The kids are all rambunctious, they're doing all these crazy things. Well, reviewing it really stops at least the time that you have to deal with the rambunctiousness. That's why it cuts down on the idle time, and it really helps control the conduct. And I'll use a sports analogy. I'll use a football analogy. The longer time you have your offense on the field equals not having the other offense on the field. Okay? If you follow sports, that means that the longer you're doing things, it's the less time that the other people are doing the other things that they shouldn't be doing. Okay? It's just a little strategy that I use, or it really helps in cutting down the conduct. It really does. Okay. Read their essays out loud. This is the other thing, the next step. So in our class, the students have written these essays, okay, that include all the answers that we've gone over the whole year. Okay, so, for example, this student, she had 350 times 2, that's 700 word essay. Okay, a 700 word essay that she wrote, and includes everything we did the whole year. Okay, so what the students do is they'll read it out loud. They can stand up, or they can be on their in their desks. One time, they read it one time out loud, and this is going to help them, like I said, review all of the grammar and the vocab that we've seen for the whole year, and it's probably going to be seen in the test. Okay, and this only takes 5 minutes at the most. There might be someone that might take 6 minutes. Again, have your phone or the alarm on your phone, and just kind of look. And once they're done, they just put it down and they're just quiet, so you can see who's actually done. Okay, let's see. Before handing out the test, move people. All right, there you go. Move people. Before handing out the test, move people. Like at the beginning of the test, once they sit down, it's like, okay, don't get too comfortable, because I'm probably going to move you. And they're like, yeah, no, really, I'm not comfortable. You're going to get moved. So this actually keeps students from copying. They know that you're at least keeping an eye on the movement in the classroom. And the people that were sitting next to their friends, they're like, oh, you're going to get moved. Oh, okay. The reasoning, it's like, why are you doing this? Well, here we go. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I don't trust you. They laugh, the whole class laughs, but they understand that I'm doing this just as precautionary, so we don't have any problems, okay, at least copying wise. It really helps. Then, here we go, feedback. So before handing out the test, on the back of their Scantron, or on a separate piece of paper, however you guys want to, the students have to answer the following question. Okay? Write 5 things you like about this class. And, you give them around a minute or 2. And the reason for this is it's feedback on the things that you've used during the whole year that worked. It's interesting what the students say that they liked, and it'll be interesting to see what some students say. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, this student actually liked this. Okay, and again, it works for you as feedback to know what is working, and it's just good to know. It's just good to know. Okay, so they write it right here on the back of this Scantron, and it makes for a good reading too, which I'll do later. Handing out the test. All right, so we have the test right here. You're handing it out, but do not start with the audio. A lot of colleagues, the very first thing they do once they hand the test out is, oh, let's do the audio. You know what? My suggestion is let them start. I'll tell them, hey, okay, start at number 11. And then from there, give them 10 minutes, again on your phone, once the alarm goes off. All right? Then we start doing the audio. Why? Well, in case there's tardy students. Okay, in case there's tardy students that still got there late. Okay, at least they have a fighting chance, or actually no, mainly for you, so you don't have to do it 2 or 3 times. Or 2 or 3 more times, the audio part or the listening part, because the kids are already going to be into the test. Okay? The kids are going to be into the test, and they're going to be focused. And plus, it's a hassle. And the joke I always use with them is once the alarm goes off and we're going to do the next part, I just tell them, all right, guys, that's it. That's all the time we have for the test. Pass it up. And the kids look at it like, what? We didn't even do anything. I don't have, what? And it's like, oh, just kidding. So it's a little joke. I always ask, hey, where's your sense of humor? And then I'll hand out the test. Okay, so bathroom policy during testing. Well, the students during testing, at least for me, they don't have to ask permission to go to the bathroom. Why? Well, first of all, if the pass is there, they can go. They don't have to ask me. They're responsible for their own time. That's the whole reason. They know what they do with their time. It's their test. And they're used to it. Why? Because we've done state exams, ACTs, SATs, where they just get up and they go to the bathroom and it's their time. Okay? They understand what they have to do. Okay? So, and in this class, we're used to doing that because when we do independent work, I tell them, hey guys, again, it's your time, it's your grade. If you want to go to the bathroom, you want to walk, you want to get some water, okay, but it's going to be your time. All right, you don't have to ask to go to the bathroom. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back over here. The last part over here is the students that they've written on this feedback. They've written that they love that freedom that they have on independent work or independent days. All right, and that's one of the things is them being able to own what they're doing. Okay, knowing that they have that control. So they really love that freedom. Let's go to the next one. Music. I sometimes play music in the background, mainly easy listening, low volume. The students actually say that it helps them, because I know a lot of people work with music. And when we do the audio part, the listening part, I turn off the music. And the music that I use, for example, that you could use or I use Gypsy Kings. I just put their greatest hits, and I just put it in very low volume, and it's very relaxing. Or you can guitar music, or whatever it is that you guys think is relaxing and helps them. It helps them focus. Good morning. Finished. Oh, I've been pretty good. Pretty good.
I just noticed her trash can is missing.
Uh-oh.
And it was there Friday. I'm the one that took out the trash.
Uh-huh.
And it's not there. There were custodians here Saturday.
Well, okay. Well, hopefully everything will be okay.
Okay, I want to let you know.
All right, thank you. Okay, so once they finish to hand in the test, just tell them to study for another final. They can be on their phones. Only if everybody has finished, thank you, only if everybody has finished, we can all play Nintendo, or we can play board games, or be on their phones again, like I said. And why? Well, this really cuts down on conduct problems. Again, that little 15, 20 minutes that we have left of class, once everybody's done, you put a little Wii, you put it in, for example, we had the Super Mario Kart, and the students love it. They get concentrated on, and there's less conduct problems. There's not touching each other or hitting each other. No. They're entertained. They're seeing each other play, cheering everybody on, having actually a social interactions. It's actually really fun. And these are my successful procedures for finals. This is Yama from Yama Spanish Solutions, and this was Yama Cool-Ture. And the last part is shout-outs. Right now, I don't have anybody out there, but it's all for all the colleagues out there and all the parents. Hey, summer came. You can do it. Survive summer. If you have any comments or questions, you can write them right here. Suggestions also, write them right here. Subscribe. And it's right there. You can see it. Share if you think that you know somebody that actually needs this. Subscribe, like I said. If you like it, well, click like right there, the little button. You already know what my channel is. It's Yama Cool-Ture. And if you have a YouTube channel and you would like subtitles for it, contact me. Okay. And well, I'll see you when I see you.